So I've been playing guitar for about 10 years now, and I've seen many guitarists make this same mistake, myself included. That mistake is wasting too much time trying to replicate someone else's tone. It's not a bad thing to want to sound like our favourite guitarists. I wanted to sound like Ace Frehley when I first started playing. I would jump online and search for his amp settings and what gear he used on stage and in the studio. But I couldn't find anything that could help me match his tone with the gear that I had at the time. But I did find posts from other people wanting to sound like Slash, Kurt Hammett, Eddie Van Halen, and the list goes on. And the truth is, you could spend thousands of dollars on equipment to sound like them. You can buy their signature gear, their guitar amps, pedals, and still not get their exact tone. It's because of two different things. One, because everything you hear on an album goes through a complex mixing process. They mix and blend different amps together to try and create something unique. And that can take months or years to complete in the studio. And once it is done, it's almost impossible to replicate, even for the band. If Metallica went back to re-record the Black Album with the same equipment, in the same studio, with the same producer, they would get a different result. They wouldn't be able to match the original recordings, and the same goes for any other band. 2. The tone is in the hands of the player, which means your playing style has an effect on the guitar's tone. The way you attack the strings, play chords, and move around the fretboard will affect the voice of the guitar. For example, if you record 4 guitarists playing the same riff on the same guitar and amp setup, you will notice the slight changes in the guitar's voice in each track. It all depends on how you play, and every guitarist has a different playing style and technique. You just need to find out what works for you. And another thing to note is, a lot of guitarists blame their gear for their lack of progress. Buying lots of gear and adding to your pedal board won't make you a better player. I'm not saying don't go out and buy pedals or signature gear or anything like that. No, I have quite a few pedals myself. What I am saying is, your gear can become a distraction and can stop you from reaching your goals as a guitarist if used incorrectly. For example, using too much distortion can cover up your mistakes and can make you think that you're playing better than you actually are. It's happened to me, and it's happened to many other guitarists. And if you are just starting out, you shouldn't be too focused on your gear and tone. You don't have to worry about that stuff until you are ready to go into the studio. So don't waste time trying to replicate someone else's tone, and don't worry too much about gear. You should just focus on playing and learning riffs, chords, scales, and whatever else you want to learn. And if you are looking at buying your first guitar, I would suggest that you get one that you feel comfortable playing. Play a few different guitars in store before making your decision, and get an amp that suits your needs, maybe just a little combo amp or something small like that. Once you have everything you need to get started, all you need to do after that is practice, and practice, because at the end of the day, your playing is what really matters the most, and not your gear. And remember, people go to gigs to watch the performing artist and not to stare at their equipment all night. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.